The first thing that comes to mind when talking about arcade racing games is simplified, unrealistic physics. And it's true, almost every arcade game I know has an easier steering system. But that's not a problem. As we'll see, there are many other aspects that can train a driver in these games, such as some racing techniques, a faster way to complete turns, brake, or even simply a taste for car culture. Thus, simplified physics has its drawbacks because players cannot get used to the nuances of driving, but it's advantageous because it makes it easier to focus on other, more immersive and amusing things. This way, a taste for cars is developed, which makes future training in this field much easier as players' minds get used to associating car racing with something pleasurable. When we are young, we're not interested in car modifications, driver meetings, or motor racing. This is because at this time, we know nothing about them and have no experiences related to that world. But as we grow older, we discover not only that these things exist, but that we can get involved with them through video games. Initially, we start with the most arcade games and start choosing and modifying cars and racing them. And when we least expect it, we're talking about these racing games with our friends, discussing which car is better, who's faster, who subscribed to Racing Legends first, and clicked on the bell to receive every new video. And in the end, it becomes a fun hobby to watch videos on the topic and apply them to video games, race different cars, modify new car classes, or even just explore the virtual worlds. All this experience and the taste for cars is of unparalleled value for those who want to get more involved in real life or even pursue a career in the auto industry, because we always do better what we're interested in. Whether it's working with automotive aesthetics, being a race car driver, a mechanic, or even an automotive engineer at a major automaker, or producing car videos, dedication is what counts for success. Success on the track comes from constantly learning new racing techniques, and you don't need realistic games and simulators to start learning about them. With an arcade game, you can also learn many of them because they are universal concepts. Two examples are quite easy to understand. The first is the race line, which is the combination of the shortest and fastest path on the track. This speed comes from positioning the car during turns and between them by cutting the track and touching the cornices insides. Since it's a matter of car positioning more than anything else, it's pretty easy to use this technique in arcade games. The other tip is about speed and acceleration. In arcade games, it's also common to accelerate the car from a stop and do a burnout. It's also common to be too fast at a corner and hit the track's barriers. This shows that it's possible to control that by doing what requires player refinement instead of a good simulation game. For example, if you have a controller with triggers, solving this is a matter of gradually pressing the trigger for smooth acceleration. Corner exits are done by braking slightly before turns to have enough traction on the front tires to complete the corner. In other words, just having a joystick already opens up various possibilities for fine car control. Even if you play using the arrow keys, the tips in this video also apply to you. Just look for what can be done in the game and controls you have. Next time you play a racing title, watch and practice these tips and several others I have on my channel to increasingly be a racing legend.